Hey my friends, how are you all doing out there? I am Ashley Ellix, and in this video today, I wanted to do kind of like a continuation to the video that I posted a couple weeks ago where I talked all about makeup I bought just for the packaging. But today, for this video, I want to focus on makeup I bought just for the hype. So these are all products that I could think of that I've bought over the years that were just super hyped up, and I couldn't even resist the urge anymore, and I just had to make the plunge and purchase it, whether it be hyped up on YouTube or Instagram or just the brands themselves hyped it up, or maybe even friends and family hyped it up to me that I just had to get my hands on it and try it for myself. Some of these products were really good. Some of these products I'm gonna be talking about, not so much. So this is a series that I'm gonna be starting here on my channel where like every other Friday I'll do this style theme, but with different reasons of why I purchased different makeup products. So like I said before, it was I purchased because of the packaging. Now it's purchasing for the hype. And if you have any ideas of makeup I bought just for the whatever, then leave them down in the comments below, and hopefully I can get to that very soon. And while we're at it, go ahead and let me know down in the comments if you've purchased any makeup products just for the hype of it, and what were they. I hope that I was able to remember all the different stuff that I've purchased over the years for the hype, but I definitely could be missing stuff. And if I think of like a lot more, then I'll have to update you guys later on. But right now, this is a pretty decent sized collection because we all know that makeup can get super hyped up. And sometimes, like I said, it's for good reason, and sometimes it's like, meh. Okay, anyways, enough chit chat, enough jibber jabbing. If you would like to see what makeup I purchased just for the hype of it, then you're in the right place. And all you need to do now is sit back, hang tight, and keep on watching. Boop. So starting with primers. Okay. I have one in particular, and if you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably could have guessed it. I almost feel like at this point I keep this product just to talk crap about it. That sounds so bad, but I keep it because I just feel like it's ingrained in my head that it's supposed to be good, and I just got to keep trying it every once in a while. And yet here we are, still not in love with it like everybody else seems to be. Although I know a lot of you guys, whenever I mention it, say that you have similar experience to me where it's just like, it's okay. So that is the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. This primer was like obviously super hyped. A lot of people were saying it's their holy grail and it's amazing, and that is so great if it works for them or if it works for you. But for me, I just didn't really feel like it made any difference at all, especially for the price point. I have like the trial size, which honestly lasts quite some time. The full size is like around $50, which is really big. So I did half my face using this primer today, and on the other side, I used the primer that I think is better, not only because just it works better for my skin, the performance is better, and I feel like I see a little something at least with it. Also, the price point is much better, and that is the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. So allegedly, the original e.l.f. Putty Primer was supposed to be like such a good dupe for the Tatcha primer, but I was reluctant to get that one because I was like, well, the Tatcha primer didn't work for me, so why would I go do that? But then I started to hear, and some of you guys actually let me know, that the e.l.f. Putty Primer was better than the Tatcha one. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Still put it off, but then e.l.f. came out with the Luminous, and then they also came out with like a more matte version too. So I picked up the Luminous because I am dry skin, and I also like a little bit of luminosity to make my skin look more glowy, obviously. So I feel like I see a little bit of luminosity when I use this. Now I've had the makeup on for about an hour now, so I feel like I could probably see a difference between the two primers if they were that different. This side with the Tatcha looks like the makeup's kind of filling into the pores weirdly, you know, like the little dots that you see, where the e.l.f. one just looks like it mushed into my skin a little bit better. And I would say on most days I would see more luminosity with the e.l.f. primer, but I used some illuminating products later that I'll show you guys, so it's harder to tell now, but that's just what I've experienced in using both of these throughout the time. All right, next up would be concealer. This one's pretty obvious, and I don't think I need to talk about it for too long, but that is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I think that's everybody's number one product that they bought for the hype of it. So many people were talking about it a couple years ago, like everybody. You couldn't put it on a YouTube video or watch an Instagram video without somebody using this. That is wild. That is crazy. It was pretty groundbreaking of a concealer when you think about it. Like, concealers were it was harder to find a full coverage concealer, which was pretty frustrating. So when they came out with this super pigmented, high coverage concealer, people were all just so excited, and for good reason. So I still to this day do like Shape Tape. I found kind of like a newer love since then though, and that's the Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer. I love that one just because it's not quite as drying as the Shape Tape, but you still get really good coverage, and it just makes my skin look a little bit healthier than this one. However, I just started using this one again maybe like 2 weeks ago because I'm out of my Magic Star concealer, and I don't like the price point of that one because you get like half the amount as this. I have been really enjoying it. I used it today like you saw, but I did have to use another concealer to deepen it up a little bit because this one's a little too light, and that was the Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer in Vanilla. This one was Light Sand, so it's a tad too light for me right now. And with that said, it is a little hard to find my perfect shade in this one that I don't have to like mix, so that's a little frustrating. But I will say I've really been enjoying it the last couple weeks, and I'm kind of like rediscovering it. Okay, now foundation. I actually have a list. Foundations were the most of all the categories of the different makeup that we're gonna talk. I actually have a list of foundations that I bought because I felt like they were so hyped up and I couldn't like resist getting it. Some of them weren't even good for my skin type, but they were just so hyped that I had to go for it. So first up, I'll talk about what I used today, and that is the IT Cosmetics CC cream. This one is super hyped up, I think, for sure, at least what I experienced. So many people just in my day-to-day life, on YouTube, on Instagram, use this foundation and seem to love it. I have a love-hate relationship with this CC cream. Okay, today I used it, and maybe it's just the combination of everything I use, maybe it's my skin for that type of month, but today I love it. It is so beautiful. My skin looks so glowy. It's just nice. I got a good amount of coverage. However, I used the Shape Tape with it, so that could be contributing to it. Usually it's like a medium coverage, but some days I use it, and maybe it's on the days that I'm trying to be more light coverage, that I just hate it. That it looks like it's breaking up all over my face. It's looking weird. I don't know what's going on. And it's so inconsistent that it's very hard for me to actually gravitate to using it. Because it's like, do I want my makeup to be unpredictable today? It's pretty rare that I want it to be unpredictable. So this is not a reliable foundation type product for me. CC cream, whatever it have you. Today it looks great. Can't explain it except, you know, it happened to be a perfect pairing with everything. Weird. Okay. Now going to my list of foundations. Okay. Number one, Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation. This foundation is super hype. I would say it was super hyped. I don't hear too much about it now, but in the beginning when it first launched, people were freaking out that I had to get my hands on it because it seemed like it was perfect. 4-in-1. I love how extensive their shade range was. It was so awesome. I hated it. Oh my gosh, I tried so many which ways to get that to work, and it all looked so dry on me, which I do have dry skin, I want to say that, but it looked exceptionally dry, patchy. It started to get really weird after about an hour of wearing it, so it wasn't for me. All right, next one, Hourglass Vanish Stick. Okay. This one was super hyped. Wow. I mean, to this day, I think I don't know if it's still hyped, but I still see people using it. But when it first came out, dude, that was all I ever saw, like especially larger YouTube influencers using, was this Vanish Stick, and everybody's skin looked so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was so pretty. But by the time I got my hands on it, it took a little while. It's a pretty penny for that foundation stick. I had already tried the ColourPop No Filter foundation stick, so brands were starting to come out with foundation sticks after that because the hype of the Hourglass stick, and I fell in love with the ColourPop No Filter foundation stick. So I got the Hourglass thinking, well, if the ColourPop one is good, then the Hourglass one is probably 1,000 times better. No, and no. It wasn't bad by any means. I didn't hate it, but I even did a side-by-side comparison video doing the ColourPop and the Hourglass, and I felt like on my skin, for me and my experience, I felt like the ColourPop one was better. So, okay, Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Dude, some people love this foundation, and if it works for you, I am so jealous because for people that it works for, well, it looks so beautiful and your skin looks so creamy and it's so nice. That didn't happen with me. That foundation on me doesn't last more than like 15 minutes before it separates and gets weird and just it just looks gross on my skin, which is so weird because everybody that I know loves it. Not everybody, but most of the people that I know love it have dry skin. And I have friends that just swear by it, but me, I can't use it. So I was so sad to not be able to use it. And yeah. And then the last one that I'm going to mention is the Kat Von D Lock It Foundation. Again, very hyped. I probably don't need to say it for every single product, but it was a very hyped product. Like, everybody seemed to be obsessed with it, the full coverage abilities and everything. And I will say it had very, very good coverage, but super thick. So it feels very weird going on. It feels very heavy on the skin. And then it does not last very long. It looks very weird, separating on me, gross, and then I'm pretty sure that foundation made me break out a couple times. So yeah, that wasn't for me. No. Okay, Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, you guys. This did not live up to the hype for me. Oh my goodness. I have tried it for months now, on and off. The first week that I got it, I tried it so many different ways. I really wanted to believe the hype, but I just don't. I just don't love it. And the price point. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. There's supposed to be 3 different ways you can use this product. You can use it as like a primer before your foundation. You can use it as a topper, as a highlighter, which is the way I used it today, just like on the high points of my cheeks. It's the only highlighter that I have other than the glowy products that I'm using. And also you can use it as like a mix-in to make your foundation like more dewy or glowy. That's probably my favorite way, kind of. It doesn't make a huge difference, but that's the mix-in way is probably the best. I wouldn't personally go out of my way to buy this for that reason again. I didn't like it as a primer. I didn't feel like it was that groundbreaking of a difference, and a lot of the foundations it didn't really work well with. It would like break down the foundation and it just didn't look that good, and it didn't last very long. Like, my makeup would break down really quickly. So I didn't like that. As a topper, like in the high points of the cheek, like it's all right. It's definitely hard to tell right now because I have all these different glowy products on, like the e.l.f. Luminous and everything, and then the spray that you're gonna see later that I got. Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. So moving on to powder is another Hourglass one, and that's Hourglass Veil Translucent Powder. So yes, I saw everybody talking about this powder and I just had to get my hands on it once I had the funds to do it. And I was kind of regretting trying it because then it put powders at a new bar that all other powders had to reach in order to be the best. And then I was like, crap, that's super expensive, and I hope I don't go through it very fast because ouch. I'm happy to note when I was using it consistently, I didn't go through it very fast, so that is good. But then became my new mission to try to surpass this one. Now, out of all the powders that I have tried since this one, the only one that has surpassed it, I'm happy to say, is a drugstore product, and that's the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I love that powder. I think it is so nice. So I will still use this one, and it is really nice, and I do like it. But the Halo Glow Setting Powder from e.l.f. is even more hydrating, and it just makes my skin look nicer. There we go. Bought it for the hype. I'm not mad at the product. I'm just mad at the price of the product, you know? Yeah. Okay, contour palette. This was the only contour palette I could think of that I bought for the hype. Number one, I did get it on sale, so part of the reason was that I bought it on sale, so this is kind of like a twofer, but it was originally because of the hype. I didn't have to look at anything. I was just like, okay, it's on sale, I'm definitely buying it because I've heard such good things about it, and that was long ago. The KVD Shade Light Palette. I mean, who else bought this for the hype? Hello? They were so hyped up. Oh my gosh, I should mention the ABH Cream Contour Kit. I bought that for the hype, and I put it in my pro kit back when I was doing makeup and stuff for events, and I don't think I ever even used it on anybody. Maybe once or twice, actually. But nonetheless, I bought that one for the hype for sure. And this one I did buy for the hype and I actually did really enjoy it. I hit pan on it. I used it today, but I don't think the performance is quite what it used to be. It's pretty old. I mean, I had to get this out of my like stash of products that I forgot that I stashed somewhere for whatever reason. So I think I'm gonna be done with this one. I mean, KVD just is going through a huge rebrand since Kat Von D is not a part of them anymore. And I'm interested to see if they're gonna just pretend like, I mean, everything's the same, or if they're actually going to repackage, or what the route's going to be for them, because I don't know. There were some cult favorites that people really loved back in the day, and I would love to see them kind of revamp the packaging, keep the formula the same, and just see what they can do other than just I don't know. I don't like what they're doing right now because they're not doing anything, and I think that's a little lazy. But anyways, that's a whole different story for a whole another time. Okay, next let's move on to eyebrows. Of course, the ABH Dip Brow. I think I've been using this for a very long time, so I'm pretty sure I bought this for the hype, and this hype would have been more like the people that I was working with were super into it and my friends and stuff, because I wasn't really watching YouTube and stuff a lot back then. This was this is like when it first launched. There was a lot of hype because it was such an innovative product and it was so exciting. So yes, I still love my dip brow pomades and I do use them. I have gotten a little bit dried out on this container because I've had it for a while. So I just started using the Tarte Big Ego brow pomade. I think that's what it's called. And I like that one, but it's not quite as long lasting. It seems like, I don't know what it is. Something about that product, it's just not giving me the oomph that I wanted it to. So I think I'm gonna start going back to dip brow. I think I need to get a new freshie and then compare it, because when I get a fresh one of this too, it's so creamy. The new Tarte one is like so creamy, and maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I have to do more figuring out, but dip brow, bought it for the hype, still like it, still use it. Oh baby, oh baby. Now, eye primers. So there's a lot of eye primers that have been hyped up over the years, but I haven't personally bought any for the hype because I would get them in like deluxe sizes when I bought a palette or something. So that was kind of weird. I was like, well, if I didn't buy this for the hype, I would have. Like the Urban Decay, you know, eye primer and the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, but all of them I had already had from like gift with purchases and stuff. So that doesn't count. So what I will mention is this one was super hyped up right when it launched, and that was the Revolution Cut Crease Canvas. I don't remember if this was hyped up just from the brand or if people were hyping it up or just the idea of it was hyped. I don't remember now, but I bought this one thinking it would be so amazing. I compared this product versus just using my Tarte Shape Tape on one eye and this one on the other eye. The Tarte Shape Tape performed way better. I know that's more expensive, but it just kind of solidified the idea that I had that you probably don't need a separate product just to cut your crease when you can just use your concealer that you already have in your possession. And I have since used more affordable concealers to cut my crease all the time, and they work great. They're fine. You don't need this one at all. I have to throw this one away because it is a little stinky stink, and it is done. And I've noticed that with Makeup Revolution products. If I don't use them for a while and then I go to smell them, no, time to go. So I think that their expiration dates are a little more valid than some other companies, but I felt like this one just didn't it made the eyeshadows fade and then they creased more on me and it was just not good. I don't like it. Now the next eye primer I absolutely love and adore. It came out maybe a few months ago in the fall. Summer, I don't know, I get all confused with everything, but that's the ABH Eye Primer. I think this one is very good, very nice. It makes my eyeshadows last a little bit longer. It's easy to work with as a cut creaser, and I do like it. Can you get away with using your concealer usually? Yes, you can, but I still do love this. I like it. I do. Let me know if you've tried it. What are your thoughts? I think that they're not selling it in this full size anymore just because it will literally last forever. For the last few months, I've only seen it available in a mini size from Ulta and Sephora. I haven't looked anywhere beyond that, but I think it's because this looks brand new and I've had it since when? Like I said, it's summer that it launched, and I use it every time I do my eyes, except occasionally I don't, but it was a long time. So I think they started just doing the minis for like around 11 bucks. That's much better. Go for that one if you want to try it, or even get a sample from Sephora if you can. And yeah. Eyeshadow palettes. The eyeshadow palettes were hard because I review all makeup over here, obviously, but I have like a heavy theme of eyeshadow palettes, so I'm kind of like confused. Okay, what did I buy for hype and what did I buy because I wanted to review because it was hype? Does that count? I mean, because there's like a couple Jeffree Star products that I bought, or palettes that I bought because they were being so hyped, but even if they weren't being hyped, I would have wanted to get it at least to review, if not because the color story was cool. So that was like too gray of an area, so I'm not going to talk about that yet. Maybe I want to figure out a way to get those into these videos though, because I mean, so let's go in depth with a couple palettes that I will mention. And the first one let's talk about is the Tarte Icy Betch palette. Now, if you've been around in the makeup world for a couple years now, you probably know about what happened with this. But if you're more new, I'll give you a brief summary. On April Fool's Day, many moons ago, a couple years ago, Tarte posted a photo of a similar looking palette called the Icy Betch that had a lot of beautiful blues and turquoises in it. And then they said, just kidding, April Fools. And we were just like, rude, what? We want want that palette that looks gorgeous. How dare you? So it took them about a year to come out with the actual one since there was such a demand for it. And at the same time, a bunch of other brands were releasing their blue palettes since they saw such a demand for it, including Jeffree Star's Blue Blood palette and so many other ones that I bought at the time to do a bunch of comparisons to. So yes, okay. So I bought this one just for the initial hype of it. It took a while to get to it. The packaging was not as beautiful as they showed in the like fake one, which like, why didn't they do that? I don't know. And I think that was a big downfall of this. It's like, okay, you gave us like a cheap version of Icy Bitch. And it was cheaper than most of their palettes. It was like around the $25 range. And it's sad because you know what? The performance of the shadows were really, really good. And I was blown away. This was like one of my favorite of the blue launches that came out that month. But a couple of these shades in here looked identical. Like this blue one and this blue one. I cannot see a difference. Like the littlest tiny bit. So they gave us kind of like a lazy, like, okay, fine, here you can have what you want. And then these two right here look so similar when you like actually use them on the eyes. It was just like, okay. And then the white is very white. They threw a random highlighter in there that we didn't really ask for. Now, Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes, I feel like have been really hyped for a long time. And I think those are within good reason too. So I originally bought the Zulu palette from Juvia's Place because I was like, okay, I really want to try one of the eyeshadow palettes from Juvia's Place. I just hear such great things about the formula, the pigmentation. I've seen so many looks look amazing with the pigmentation, and so many people talk about it and rave about it. And the price point, like I almost fell on the floor when I saw how affordable this one is. And it's like always on sale. So I love that. So I was wandering around Ulta one day an Ulta that I don't usually go to. And I saw this huge display of Juvia's Place. And there was the Zulu palette. And I was like, okay, this is the one. Out of all the eyeshadow palettes I've heard amazing things about, I'm gonna go with this one. And it really did blow me away. The pans are humongous, you guys. These are so big. I will never hit pan on these. It is amazingly huge. And I think the pigmentation is great. The blendability is amazing. Those were worth the hype in my opinion. I have only tried this one palette though, so I can't attest to the other ones, but I mean, I hear such great things. And if any of them are like that, then they're great. Today on my eyes, I kind of did just the Zulu palette. I used the base shade in the Icy Bitch palette because there is no base shade in Zulu. The Zulu palette, I just focused on that brown shade because I want to kind of do like a more natural, neutrally look today because I'm gonna be talking about another eye product that I bought for the hype of it. And that is the Stila Glitter and Glows and Shimmer and Glows. Obviously, we know that those were so hyped up. I think I bought those like almost right away. I bought one of those and I was obsessed. I loved it. And then the holiday season came and then I bought a kit with all of them in it, like 5 or 6 of them in it with the shimmers and the glitters. I loved them so much. But I often forgot that they existed in my collection and I would forget to use them, and then about 6 months later they all dried up, which was so heartbreaking because they're expensive. Like the original full-size ones are like around the $20 price point, and then the kits are like around 40 to 50 in the holiday season, I think. You get a lot of them, but moral of the story is I thought I would get great use out of the kits and then I forgot about them. And even if I didn't, there were so many different shades in there that it's like, would I have ever finished them? I don't think so. So I love them. I think they're beautiful and they were very groundbreaking. That's what I'm noticing in this. There's a lot of products in here that were kind of revolutionary, where it changed the game of makeup, and I can appreciate that for sure. So once the Glitter and Glows came out, the dupes started coming out. Maybe it took a while though, like about a year or so, maybe even 2 years. I started seeing more dupes that were actually competitive. There were dupes at the beginning, but they weren't even like, they weren't getting close to it. CoverGirl came out with the exhibitionist glitters last year at some point, and oh my gosh, you guys. Let me just say, since I was sent these ones in PR, which is when I originally tried them, I have not bought a Glitter and Glow from Stila since. These totally dominated that for me. These are beautiful. They perform like exactly the same. And I'm happy to know, like this one in particular, I haven't used in a while and it's not dried out or anything. Like I used it today, no problem. It is so pretty. They just perform similar to me that it's just like, okay, these are around $10 versus the Stila ones around 20. I'd rather save half and then I can even get more. And then And then if that wasn't even like the best you can do, Elf comes around and makes one recently. And you guys, that one's really good. Where is it? It's smaller, yes, but it's even more affordable. I actually prefer the smaller one because I know I'll probably use it up if I used it consistently, which I don't. I forget about them. I want to get some more of these. How much are these ones? $3 or $6? $5. Okay, $5 for these ones. It's about half the size of this one, so $10. $5. I mean, if there's a shade that you really, really like and you want to go for the CoverGirl one, you can do that. But if you would rather get, dip your toes in it, if you're just using them for the first time, you can get the $5 one and see, because they're both great. They're both wonderful. So thank you to Stila for being revolutionary. But your girl just dried up too fast and they were just too expensive, and then somebody else came along and just made the product even better. Oh, I'm sorry. I love it. Wow. Okay. P.S. That is what I used today. I used the CoverGirl Exhibitionist in the number 2. They have shade names and I don't know why they also have numbers on the bottom but not the shade names. Very confusing. I'm sorry. Now mascara. Okay, so I mentioned this one in my previous video where I purchased makeup just for the packaging, but that one I originally bought the original mascara for the hype of it, and then I bought that version for the packaging. So just to clarify, because you're going to see a double here. So that's the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I think we can all agree that this mascara has been very hyped. It maybe continues to still be hyped. I'm not sure. Do people still talk about it? I don't know. It's still one of my favorites. So not this one. This was the packaging one that I already have open. So I bought this one for the packaging, but I'd already gone through like 5 tubes previously. And I originally bought it because everybody was talking about it. I used to work at a beauty store. I was a manager there, and all of my staff would like rave about this and were just obsessed. And I was like, I gotta try it. And then honey, it was all over after that. No other mascara could ever compare until I tried the CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara, which I do like even better. But I wanted to use this one today to show you guys. This is a second favorite of mine, but there's a drugstore one that has my heart because I think it works even better. Oh my goodness, CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara. Don't ever change. Don't ever change. I know lashes that I saw, like fake lashes that I saw in my collection or could think of over the years that I bought just for the hype of them. Oh, that's a lie. Oh. I just realized while I'm talking about this, so I was like, I've thought about certain brands, but I didn't buy it. But House of Lashes, okay. House of Lashes. I did buy that one for the hype. It was so hyped. Like over the years, people talked about them so much. So many YouTubers would be like obsessed with House of Lashes. I don't feel like anybody talks about them anymore except me. And I'm just like sitting here in the dark like, I love House of Lashes. And what is up with that? I don't know. They are such good lashes. I keep over and over again trying to use like more high-end lashes that just do not compare to the House of Lashes, even affordable ones. I'm using an affordable brand today. I'm using the Shop Alter Ego lashes that were sent to me, and I do like them. They are nice, but the House of Lashes just have a way of just popping right on. Bada bing, bada boom, you're done. I love the House of Lashes. Super hyped. That's why I bought them. No other reason to spend $12 on a pair of lashes versus $6 it's because they were hyped. And I fell in love with them. So, okay, that's one that I can't find a dupe for yet. They're good. Okay, moving on to lippies. So, a lipstick slash liquid lipstick that I bought 1000% for the hype. I resisted for a long time, but I finally caved in. And that was the Jeffree Star Velour liquid lipsticks. Who's with me? Who has bought these just for the hype? I have so many now because I have since started getting mystery boxes from him to unbox for you guys, and he throws those in a lot. This was the first one that I actually bought, not a neutral one. I bought No Offense during the Jawbreaker launch, and I think that the lipstick shade was so cool, so fun, but I wasn't sold on the formula of it. So many people love these liquid lipsticks, including my best friend. She has Christmas Cookie, I believe it is, and she loves it. She's like, Ashley, how have you not tried it yet? And I'm like, sorry, I know. So I got this one because I was like, well, that's a unique shade, and that's cool. That even if I don't love the formula, that's the only way like I could get a shade like this. And that's kind of how it was. I was just like, all right, I don't know. I'm not like obsessed with it. I don't think it's groundbreaking. And then she told me, you gotta try a neutral shade. The neutral shades are gonna be different. And then some of you guys even told me. And I was like, okay, I'll get one. So I got Mannequin and I'm wearing it today. I will say, I do feel like now that I've tried a lot more of his velour liquid lipsticks, the neutral shades are better. for some reason, I don't know if it's how much pigment he has to put into those like more wild shades. The wilder shades there are, the thicker they are, but sometimes also watery and just like inconsistent. I think I only have like 3 or 4 of like neutrally shades, and those ones across the board are pretty nice. They last a decent amount of time. Mannequin doesn't last as long just because it's so light for my skin tone, so I notice it wearing down more. But when I wear Scorpio and Virginity together, oh, you guys know that's my favorite recently. I love it. But Scorpio seems to last a really long time, and it is nice. One more lippy I want to mention is the NYX Butter Gloss. You couldn't put on YouTube back in the day without somebody mentioning a NYX lip product. Am I right? Am I right? It was the butter glosses. It was the, what were, oh, I don't even remember what they're called now, and they're still around. The things. I don't know. But we also sold them at the boutique that I managed, and everybody loved them. All the girls were all the NYX products, and they were super hyped. So I started getting them. I ended up buying, they're so affordable. I ended up buying like a handful, and then I was like, all right. I'm not like super obsessed. So I use the butter gloss today. It is nice. It's pretty. It smells really good. If you use too much though, it will be really sticky on you. If you use too much on top of like a bare lip, I feel like it feathers a little bit. We started with the Tatcha product and then we're going to end with the Tatcha product. Little full circle moment. I feel like in general, Tatcha products are super hyped up. There's only a couple that are a little bit more makeup hyped than skincare hyped. So pretty much anything I think I can say that I bought from Tatcha was purely because of the hype. But we're not talking about skincare right now. I could do a whole different video on that. But the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist I bought for the hype, and I could name names. I could. There was a lot of people on YouTube using this, and a lot of big people on YouTube with lots and lots of followers were using this, so I would see it everywhere. So many people were using this product at the time, and they were using it to set their makeup. So I bought it thinking that I would like it because I'm dry. I might like this. Everything from Tatcha sounds just so luxurious and nice. So I added this little set to my Christmas list that came with this and the primer and a couple of the skincare products that I was super hyped up about. I didn't think that it was that great. I felt like it would make my makeup just no good. And I was like, how are all these people using it? And they were using a lot. And their makeup was still fine, although you wouldn't see how their makeup looked an hour later, but it was just like, not worth the hype to me, because especially the price point of it by itself is like $40 or $50. It is pricey. So I started trying to use it as like my skincare product, and I just like, I don't see a difference with it. So it's, to me, that one's not worth the hype. Yeah, and that kind of goes with most Tatcha products, like I mentioned. A lot of them are pretty hyped up, but I always kind of feel like underwhelmed, I think, and I think that's a lot to do with the price point. I think some of these, yeah, they're so hyped up that you expect them to live up to that price point, and then when you try them for yourself, maybe it's your skin type, maybe it's what you prefer, but it's just not, it just doesn't reach that level of the hype that you were hoping for, I guess. So that about wraps it up. Those are all of the makeup products that I can remember, at least off the top of my head and in my drawers, that I bought just for the hype. Oh my goodness. Please let me know down in the comments below if we had anything in common so that I know that I'm not alone in this. I'm definitely trying to get better and try to grow and improve and recognize when I'm just buying something just for the hype. But it's hard, you know, we're like constantly being circulated with all these products, and we kind of need to pick and choose and figure out, okay, what do I actually need in my collection versus what do I don't? I want you to keep in mind anytime that you're watching my videos that I am here to show you guys how to use products, to show you guys what I think might be worth it in value of the product and performance and blendability and pigmentation or whatever the product is that we're talking about. But I'm not necessarily saying you have to go out there and get it. I'm never going to tell you guys you have to have a product. It's more like this is what it is. You can decide for yourself if this is worth adding to your collection or not, because you know, we've seen it today. Things are super hyped up and sometimes they don't live up to that expectation. But part of that is because everybody has different skin types and skin needs and what they want in their makeup, and sometimes products just don't work out great. I want to say thank you so much to everybody for stopping by and checking out my little video today and just hanging with me. I hope that this was just like a quick little distraction for you guys where you could just check out for a minute and just have some fun and discuss some silly things. You know, at the end of the day, I know makeup is not top priority or anything. It's just like a great way for me me to like, you know, just separate myself. And makeup here on my YouTube channel and just in general has been a very good outlet for me, especially for going through difficult times in my life. I really hope that I am serving you guys in a way that can be helpful and distracting for at least just a little moment out of your day to just chill and just gab about some fun, different things like makeup and whatever. And again, thank you all so much for watching, and hope that every single one of you out there, every single one of you, please have a great, awesome, freaking wonderful day.